Sincerity in light of the Quran and Sunnah. Meaning of sincerity. Dictionary definition: the absence of pretense, deceit, or hypocrisy. Islamic definition: doing any and all actions solely for the pleasure of Allah without any expectation of worldly reward. In light of the Quran. One of the first commandments revealed to Rasul Allah, peace be upon him from Allah. Sincerity is at the core of Islam. Actions without sincere intentions have no value. One should always be cautious and ensure that their actions are pure and sincere and solely for the sake of Allah. Everyone will be compensated based on their deeds. On the Day of Judgment, those who do evil will be punished. But those who are sincere slaves of Allah will get a known reward, meaning they will get Jannah and all the pleasures that it entails, those who are sincere with Allah and only good righteous deeds for His pleasure, and fear the Day of Judgment. Allah make the Day of Judgment easy for them, and will ensure that even on such a stressful day, they are fresh and happy. Allah only expects us to be sincere slaves of His, to worship Him alone, serve His deen, and establish His chosen way of life, Islam, on earth, and to spend from that which He has given us. This is the essence of faith. In light of the Sunnah, the first people to be judged on the Day of Judgment will not be the disbelievers or the hypocrites. It will rather be people who were not sincere with their actions and did them for worldly praise instead of Allah's pleasure. We must constantly check ourselves and ensure that our intentions are pure and our actions are only for the pleasure of Allah. Though it is good to compete in good deeds, that should not be our sole intention. The goal must first and foremost be for the pleasure of Allah. And if some healthy competition occurs while seeking this pleasure, then it is good. If the intention is to only compete and one-up each other, then the action is useless and not pleasing to Allah or His Messenger, peace be upon him. During the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan, the Prophet used to retire for prayer, fasting, and meditation, whereupon Aisha asked leave to do the same, and the Prophet gave her leave. She had a tent set up for the purpose. Hafsa heard of it and had another tent set up. Zainab also had a tent set up. When in the morning the Prophet turned up, he saw 4 tents and asked, "What is all this?" Being told of that, the Prophet said, "Piety has not carried them to do this. Pull them down so that I may not see them again." And they were pulled down. Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi. Whoever goes out of their way to have people know about his good deeds, they will be wasted and become a disgrace for him on the Day of Judgment. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever causes others to hear of his virtues, God will disgrace him thereby." Bukhari, Muslim. Allah knows our intentions, even if others can't tell. We must always be sincere with Allah, otherwise our reward will be with people, and on the Day of Judgment we will show up empty-handed. Always, 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 check yourself and ensure you are only trying to please Allah whenever you do indeed. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Actions are only judged by intentions. Each person shall be rewarded only for that which he intended." Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Allah does not look at your bodies, nor does He look at your faces, but He looks at your hearts." Bukhari, Muslim.